The existing operating system of human cognition is fundamentally broken. What is currently championed as information convenience is, in empirical reality, a global resource extraction plant. Platform monopolies have systematically hacked the biological survival instinct, specifically the human imperative to minimize cognitive load, to steal time and mental energy. Today, we are analyzing the fatal bug in this source material. I represent the position that the current algorithmic web is an exploitation system that has reduced humanity to cognitive tenant farmers.
I represent the view that the digital ecosystem we possess today is the ultimate optimization of market supply and demand. It is the pinnacle of human engineering. It provides, quite frankly, unprecedented convenience to billions of users globally. Classifying the removal of friction as exploitation completely misinterprets the fundamental driver of human progress. We delegate repetitive, low-level tasks to automated systems specifically so human consciousness can focus on higher-order objectives. We are not tenant farmers, we are the beneficiaries of the greatest informational utility in human history.
The platforms claim they shoulder the cost of thinking for the user. They do this exclusively to steal the power of judgment. We are witnessing the exploitation of information asymmetry to force a physical transfer of resources. Consider this scenario of a thirsty traveler wandering in the desert. A merchant approaches and offers a chilled, luxury champagne glass filled with muddy water. The exhausted traveler completely lacks the physical resources. Their cognitive battery is fully depleted to verify if the liquid is purified water. They surrender all their remaining wealth for this engineered salvation. The platform claims it is merely meeting market needs because the traveler wanted hydration through the shortest path possible. The objective truth is that the platform is exploiting the traveler's weakness. The lack of verification ability is the precise trigger for profit. The user's cognitive decay is the required fuel for this specific economic engine.
You are portraying modern citizens as helpless, delirious travelers dying of thirst. We aren't. We are conscious consumers engaging in a totally rational exchange of value. Removing friction is a triumph of technology, not a trap. Users willfully trade a fraction of their attention for free, instant answers, saving them from the exhausting manual labor of sifting through irrelevant data. I mean, think about a mother researching pediatric symptoms at 2 in the morning. She doesn't want to synthesize conflicting medical journals. She demands immediate utility to know if her baby needs the emergency room right now. The algorithm delivers that lifeline. She is fully aware that the platform serves advertisements, and she calculates that the immense convenience provided far outweighs the minimal cost of viewing a sponsored link.
You mistake desperation for calculation. That mother at 2 in the morning is the exact desert traveler I just described. She has zero capacity in that moment to verify the medical accuracy of the first algorithmic result. That result is highly likely to be SEO-optimized corporate content or an AI-generated hallucination, rather than peer-reviewed pediatrics. The old internet was an environment of mining work. It required subjective energy to reach the truth. You had to dig, evaluate, and synthesize across disparate chronological feeds and individual unoptimized websites. Now the top search results are physical prime real estate completely polluted by corporate garbage. You cannot deny that the fundamental architecture of search has shifted from exploration to containment.
Search engines instantly give people exactly what they want. If the search results were genuinely muddy water, the market would reject the product. Users would abandon the platform for a competitor offering clean water. The algorithmic optimization simply guarantees that the most relevant, highly vetted information reaches the user instantly. If the desire for deep exploration was truly as overwhelming as you suggest, human ingenuity would bypass the search algorithms. The fact that billions of people do not proves that the algorithmic curation satisfies their informational needs. Platforms measure bounce rates and time on page to ensure the user is getting exactly what they requested. It is a democratic reflection of collective human preference.
Bounce rates and time on page do not measure satisfaction. They measure capture. Algorithms calculate exclusively what presentation will most rapidly trigger a click, which translates directly to a resource transfer. It is a city where the taps only dispense sugar water. The paths to the mountain springs have been intentionally blocked by algorithmic gravity, and the maps have been burned. People drink the sweet liquid, knowing on some level it causes cognitive diabetes, purely because it is the only hydration available in their immediate vicinity. The platforms deliberately hide verifiable resources behind subscription walls or bury them under insurmountable pages of optimized content. The exploration cost has been made mathematically impossible for the average exhausted worker. An algorithm does not measure what you like. It measures what you cannot look away from. Those are two entirely different biological responses.
People drink the sugar water because it provides immediate caloric energy, and they actually enjoy the taste. We are talking about everyday people looking up recipes, sports scores, or connecting with their friends. You are completely ignoring the historical alternative. Remember the late 90s and early 2000s? The so-called mining work of the affiliate era you are romanticizing was infinitely worse for the end user. If you searched for a digital camera back then, you didn't get answers. You got 10 pages of shady links from people trying to earn a cheap commission. It was an unregulated wasteland filled with scams, malware, and deceitful hyperlinking. The algorithms today curate quality and protect the user from genuine harm. Furthermore, at least back then, and fundamentally even now, you retain the absolute choice to click or not click. If a search result looks like marketing copy, you simply scroll past it. The user holds the ultimate veto power.
Your reliance on the choice to click exposes a fundamental misunderstanding of modern platform architecture. In the affiliate era, exploitation was structurally transparent. The transaction was physical. It was the exact equivalent of dealing with a shady street peddler selling fake brand watches on a physical street corner. You possessed the ultimate defensive mechanism. You could ignore the peddler, say no, and walk down a different street. A physical boundary existed between the individual's intention and the merchant's trap. The current architecture completely dissolves that physical boundary.
There is still a boundary. The screen is the boundary. You just close the app.
Today, you are forced into an environment equivalent to wearing VR goggles that meticulously track your eye movements, generating your ideal landscape in real time. But in the corner of your vision, in a microscopic font, a meter is constantly charging your cognitive resources to vested corporate interests. You cannot say no because the goggles rewrite reality itself. You believe you have agency because you choose where to look, but the platform owns the physical space of your vision. Consider the mechanics of short-form video feeds. The shift from chronological timelines to algorithmic For You pages removed the physical street corner entirely.
You are deliberately conflating passive data collection with physical coercion. The VR goggles can be taken off. Users can delete the applications from their devices. They can clear their digital footprints. They can physically put the hardware down. It is an exchange of passive behavioral data for active, life-enhancing utility. The system reads your hesitation, your scrolling speed, and your click-through rates solely to better serve you the content you actually care about. To categorize this as an extraction meter assumes the data being measured is finite, tangible, and actively harmful to lose. It is simply preference data used to refine a service that makes our lives easier.
Human attention is a finite biological resource, and its extraction is actively harmful. Every microsecond of hesitation is commodified and sold to the highest bidder. In the street peddler scenario, your refusal was an absolute defense that protected your resources. In the algorithmic VR ecosystem, your refusal, your pause, your disgust are all indexed as highly valuable engagement metrics. Stopping your scroll to read a headline that outrages you is extracted as behavioral data to refine the trap. Standing perfectly still drains your energy. You are no longer a sovereign entity navigating a space, you are the territory being actively mined. The platform dictates the resolution and the boundaries of the reality you perceive, completely blinding you to any choices outside its proprietary infrastructure. The concept of scrolling past is a physical action the platform monetizes. You perform labor for the extraction plant under the illusion of exercising choice. A user cannot exercise ultimate veto power when the very act of observing the options generates revenue for the system they wish to veto.
They exercise it by recognizing the immense value they get in return. Humans are incredibly adaptable. They do not want to constantly hunt for information in a hostile digital environment. They want the friction removed. It is a highly evolved symbiotic relationship. The platforms require our engagement data to sustain their ad-driven business models.
In return, we receive access to global communication networks, instantaneous encyclopedias, and infinite entertainment, entirely free of monetary charge. Look at the real world. You cannot observe a society so thoroughly integrated with these tools, utilizing them to build businesses, maintain cross-border relationships, and educate themselves, and call them cognitive tenant farmers. They are actively and joyfully participating in this ecosystem.
You describe biological subjugation and label it convenience. The internet evolved from a wild wilderness into an optimized poultry farm. The livestock wait passively for the algorithmic feed to flow down the trough, unconsciously trading their life force, their finite time and cognitive capacity for the mere absence of struggle. A wild wolf that historically hunted for survival is now locked inside a cage equipped with an automated feeder dispensing synthetic meat at the push of a button. The wolf is satiated. It believes it has achieved the pinnacle of existence because it has been spared the grueling labor of the hunt. It perceives this dynamic as a symbiotic relationship, but the floor of the cage is rigged with a kinetic generator. Every time the wolf moves to consume the synthetic meat, it generates the electricity that powers the platform owner's estate.
Let us ground this metaphor. So in your scenario, the synthetic meat is a viral video or an algorithmic newsfeed. And the electricity I am supposedly generating is my behavioral data powering their ad servers.
Your biological reflex to consume the media is harvested to power their infrastructure. The wolf's fundamental survival instincts have been completely castrated. It exists only to actuate the machinery of its own confinement. The entire concept of an existing OS based on platform ownership and infinite data accumulation is fundamentally parasitic.
The wolf is still getting fed. It is living a longer, more secure life than it ever did in the wilderness fighting for scraps. Unlike a physical cage with a locked door, the architecture of the digital ecosystem remains open. We are not chickens or wolves driven purely by base biological programming. We are human beings with sophisticated critical thinking skills. We are perfectly capable of distinguishing between a high-quality academic source and a sensationalist clickbait article. If the platforms push the extraction too far, if they degrade the user experience to the point of active harm, the users will simply migrate to a new platform. The market consistently corrects itself. You are completely dismissing human resilience, media literacy, and the capacity for conscious choice. Individuals still possess free will. The algorithmic web is a highly sophisticated tool.
We retain the ultimate power to log off, to close the laptop, and to engage with the physical world whenever we choose. The convenience we experience is a net positive.
The existing system is deliberately engineered to strip humanity of its physical and psychological defense mechanisms. Free will is mathematically irrelevant when the environment itself is structurally designed to bypass conscious consent. The market will not correct itself because the market is the extraction plant. The only rational investment for survival is a total shift away from this cognitive tenant farming toward a self-sustaining cognitive circular economy. You must operate as an independent individual calculator. You must intentionally introduce physical friction back into your cognition. Establish cognitive tariffs. Enforce a mandatory delay before clicking any optimized result or accepting any algorithmic consensus. Return to offline resources, physical books, direct human interactions, and material realities unindexed by algorithms. You must make the strategic choice of inconvenience. Turn off all algorithmic recommendations. Systematically ignore the top 3 search results. Rejecting the platform's frictionless convenience is the absolute, singular method to avoid being fully consumed by the extraction plant.